Greetings, employees. I'm IllegallySam, and welcome to Levelhead. I am joined here today by some commentators.
I'm Quo. I will be commentating.
And I'm bscotchkarl.
Yeah. So for anybody who's never seen this game before, Levelhead's a indie 2D platformer. There's not a lot of those out there or anything. But it has a focus on user-generated content, and we are going to be going through the game's campaign today. The any % run features 62 of the 93 levels in this game's campaign, and we're going to be going through them as quickly as possible. So let's just go ahead and hop right into things. So time will start when I enter the first level here on the map. So let's give a quick countdown. So let's start time in 3, 2, 1. Let's get going. All right. So like I said, this is an indie 2D platformer. Gotta just, get through the levels as quickly as possible. What that entails for this game is I have this little box right here. That GR18, that's that smiley little robot that I'm controlling. He's got to take that box to the goal on every single level. So we got to make our deliveries and we got to get them on time. But that box, it's not just used for the sake of, making deliveries, Like any good box, it's also used for platforming. So you can jump off of the box, when it's on the ground, you can jump off the box while it's in midair. And, jumping off of it in midair is not exactly what you might expect. But that lets you do something called a super jump, and that basically gives you a double jump and lets you jump while in midair.
Congratulations. You know what? You already knew all that. Don't worry about it.
That will be used in a good chunk of these levels to just skip over as much of the platforming as possible. So this level here is a perfect example because we're going to go up here, sprint real quick, and just go over.
So are those actually dev intended, or is that sort of something that you're abusing a bit?
It's one of those things that if Carl can correct me if I'm wrong, but it was not dev intended, but the devs found out about it and they just left it in.
Yeah, it was definitely a situation of we had no idea those things could happen with some of it. Part of it was intentional, but the amount of skips that we've seen come through, we had no idea that was going to happen.
Yes. So this game was in early access for a good period of time before it launched back in 2020, so the devs were able to get a good amount of feedback as the game developed and as the campaign was created. But this level is just, gotta make sure I don't leave the package behind. That's what this level is. But yeah, so another aspect of this game that, might not be immediately obvious is the dunk system. So as you get to the end of the level, just like any package delivery service in real life as well, you are incentivized to slam the package down from as high up as possible. What that entails is, those little dots that you see above the goal. Each of those dots is worth 300 points. However, those dots also cause the animation at the end of each level to be longer. So in a speed run, you don't want actually to dunk as from high up as possible. You want actually the minimum dunk possible. Because the difference between a maximum dunk and a minimum dunk is about a full second. And over the course of 62 levels, that adds up a lot. Over a full minute that could be spent just watching animations. And we don't like watching animations, we don't have to. So whenever possible, I will be going out of my way to get as low of a dunk as possible. But yeah, this level is just another example of, skip half the level by just super jumping up. Nothing too crazy. Like I said, it is going to be used in a lot of levels. And I liked it so much that you're going to get to see it again on the same exact level because I accidentally died. But everyone knows that, dying just allows you to see more of the game. And that's what we're all here for. All right, I'll play
That was one of my favorite perks in this game, though, is just how quick the death animation is to get right back into the level.
Oh, yeah. Part of the reason why this game is so fun to grind out and try and get good times on levels for is because, you don't have to spend a super long time waiting to respawn. It is literally just, you hit the button and you're going back into it less than a second later. one of the options that I set before the run started was instant buttons, which lets me hit the left bumper and it just immediately respawns me at the last checkpoint. Because checkpoints in this game are basically like a save state, where it saves everything in the level exactly as it was when you hit the checkpoint. And the only thing that doesn't reset is the in-level timer. So basically, if you just go back to a checkpoint, you can just retry stuff as much as you want, and it'll be in the exact same state as it was when you hit the checkpoint, which is very nice. All right, this level is the introduction of the Sky Wiggler. These are not fans, these are Sky Wigglers, because this game does not like naming things what you would expect. Because we got Sky Wigglers instead of fans, we've got Bernie Whirlers instead of fire bars, we've got Toe Sliders instead of conveyor belts. I don't know if you have a favorite name yourself, Carl, but...
Probably the Sproing. Like, it's still so similar, but it's probably my favorite item in the game just to use.
Yeah. The Sproing is definitely a good choice, and you know, it's a lot more fun to say Sproing than it is to say Spring. You know, I would be fine if we just renamed the season to Sproing. I'd be fine with that. All right. As we were just kind of blazing through some of these levels, you know, something on that last level is I was able to do basically all of the exact same package tech that I've been doing, like super jumps and the like, with any box, actually. It's not specific to the package. So anytime the game gives me any kind of box at all, I will be able to just absolutely go wherever I want, pretty much. But something else to note is these are cutscenes that I'm skipping here.
Never mind, I'll just send you an email, I guess.
They have funny quips whenever you skip them, and I enjoy those a lot. The cutscenes are actually really entertaining. If you ever were to play this game, I would highly recommend watching all of the cutscenes. But unfortunately, we have to skip them because they're slow. But I will try and not commentate over at least a couple of them so you can hear the quips that get spoken when you skip them.
And so you still get to hear the dev's voice throughout that, so it's worth it.
Yes. Yes, the narrator for this game is one of the other devs for this game, who is also the artist and the main level designer for the campaign. He's just so coincidentally happens to also be named Sam, no relation.
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, this level here though, you know, can't have a 2D platform without some power-ups. So this level will be the first power-up of the entire run. This is the Tiptoe. The best way to describe this is it's a Spider-Man watermelon. Because just look at it. It's a watermelon and it can cling to walls. But yeah, so the Tiptoe, the gist of what it does is it is able to cling to walls, it is able to cling to ceilings, and just like any true stealth master, it can turn to a bush. Turning into a bush lets you travel through enemies without getting harmed, and also makes you invisible to them. So if they would normally aggro towards you, they will not while you're a bush. So that will be used in a couple levels specifically because it is required, and if I'm ever fighting something and I'm in a bad position, I might use it as a safety. But other than that, the Tiptoe is the wall jump power-up, and it is very, very fun to use. I like it a lot. It is many people's favorite power-up. But I don't know if I'd go that far. All of the power-ups are very good in this game, and you will see many more of them. All right, this thing that I just opened here, this vendor, as I was mashing the A button to get through it as quickly as possible, the gist of it is those are icons for your profile, because the incentive to go through the campaign is to unlock icons for your profile and for your user-made levels, because this game, it has a focus on its level editor, and you can play a lot of user-made levels. But unfortunately, we're just trying to get through the campaign as fast as possible. We don't care about those icons because we're not exactly customizing our profile in the middle of a speedrun. So we're just gonna get through those as fast as possible by mashing the A button. Also, you blink and you miss it, but I did kind of go off the screen there. That wasn't the first time I've done it, and it won't be the last, so I will definitely call that out again in the future. But the way the out of bounds kind of thing works in this game is you can go off the top of the map pretty much as far as you want. You can go off the sides of the map by about like 2 tiles or so before the camera will kill you. And you can even go off the bottom of the map. It's just, gravity is a thing that exists. So good luck coming back up if you go off the bottom of the map. But something else to note about the basic mechanics of the game is sprint. I may have mentioned it earlier, but the basics of sprint in this game is if you go 7 tiles on the ground without being interrupted, whether that's, you know, running out of ground or letting go of the forward, you know, you start sprinting. And if you can believe it, being in a speedrun, sprinting, making you go faster is a good thing. Because running faster makes you go faster. It might be hard to believe. But the funny part is actually the most important part of sprint isn't actually the fact that it makes you go faster, it's the fact that it lets you jump higher. So when you have sprint, you jump an entire tile higher, and as a result, there is a lot of specific tricks and skips and just strategies in general that would not be possible if you don't have sprint. So there will be a lot of points in the run where I need to have sprint in order to pull something off. But yeah, as we move out of this first biome, we can move on to the Kistoon Ruins. This game has 4 background biomes: the Tree of Marla, the Kistoon Ruins, the Aqua Dunes, and Asteroid Tunnels. And you will be seeing all of them because they are all featured in the campaign. Yeah, so this level here is meant to teach you the mechanic known as the kick jump. What that is if you throw an object down, the object will give you a brief little bit of height, and that can be used in both intended ways, like in that level where it can let you reach platforms you wouldn't be able to otherwise, or cross gaps you wouldn't be able to otherwise, and also some less intended things. But first we have this level. This is a fun one. So this level features, you know, it's a tech that we never really found a good name for, but it basically lets you get momentum from platforms, but doing it twice. And just lets you fly through this level very, very quickly. So if you didn't know there was a tech that I used there, you probably wouldn't even be able to tell, but basically I am getting the momentum from those platforms and doubling it. So the way that works is you basically drop through the platform and then jump right after dropping through the platform, and the platform doesn't quite know how to handle that, and so it gives you the momentum again because it thinks you just ran off the edge of it and then jumped, and it would normally give you that momentum back after taking it away, but because you're just dropping through the platform, it just gives it to you twice, because why not? I'm curious if that's something you ever came across, Carl, or if this is the first time you're hearing about it.
No, I actually made a couple of levels myself with it, but it wasn't ever the horizontal momentum, it was just the vertical, because you can use it to basically make a trampoline.
Okay. Because that was not found for speedruns for that level specifically until like 1.5 years ago or so. And this game has been out for 4 years, so there is still stuff being found for this game. It is not stagnant. But this level here, this is like a bit of a Zelda dungeon type level. We're just gonna completely obliterate it. We're doing almost none of the rooms as intended, because we start off by super jumping out of that beginning area. Then we're gonna grab this little green shell. This is a scrub shell. They're like Koopas from Mario, but they also can hold down switches. And then using a kick jump, we can just go straight up to this area early, instead of needing to go get a box to hit that other switch. And just like that, we're basically done with this level already, because we skipped about half of the rooms in this entire level.
It's wild watching levels that I struggled with testing it for the game just to get obliterated.
And then at the end there, I did a little damage boost because one of the items in this game that you can pick up is armor. It lets you take an extra hit, you know, pretty self-explanatory. But the interesting thing is that the way the armor works is if you take damage, it launches you in the opposite direction from the thing that you took damage from. And as a result, it gives you a lot of momentum. And so that can be used in many places throughout the run to, you know, gain a lot of speed and try and maintain that speed and do a bunch of skips. But also shout out to this level with the speedrunner motto as its name, time is hard. Yeah, it's just a cycle-based level, nothing too crazy. Also, that is a level that forces you to get a max dunk unless you do some shenanigans, so that just gives you an idea of how long the animation is normally when you don't skip the entire thing by going to the bottom. But this next level here is the second power-up, and arguably the most broken power-up in the entire run. This level is going to introduce the zipper. The way the zipper works, it lets you teleport. not just, you know, in front of you, it lets you teleport through walls. And you can probably take a guess as to how that's broken in a game where, you know, you can already just do a lot of stuff using very unintended strats. So the way the zipper works, to be a bit more specific, is it zips 4 tiles in front of you. And so basically anywhere where you can reach 4 tiles in front of you, you can just go through those walls in front of you. So if the game doesn't block it off using something called lead, which are those like black metallic blocks right there, or 4 normal tiles, you can just zip through those walls and do whatever you want. I was trying to get on top of the map there using a super jump and the zipper, but unfortunately I was not able to, and I just already fell down, so it would have taken more time to go back up and attempt it again. So I just moved on with the level. But yes, this next segment here is going to be the part of the run where when I'm grinding for PBs, this entire like next 6 levels or so is kind of the bane of my existence, because a lot of these levels are some of the hardest levels in the run, and it is very difficult to do them consistently. Hey, I actually got that super jump, nice. Oops, okay. But yeah, these are the Luzumis. These are just giant spiky wheels. They don't like you very much. They will chase you down and try to kill you. But thankfully, the package will protect you from them and will knock them away from you. But they also are invincible until they hit a wall, so in any level where I do have to kill them, you just kind of have to bait them into a wall and then you can damage them. But this level here, keep up okay. This, once upon a time, was one of the hardest levels in the run, and it is still not easy. This is still definitely in the top 50% hard levels in the run, but it is significantly easier. Thanks to something that was found by getting sprint at the beginning of this level in a way that was very much not intended. You can maintain sprint through this section here, and coming up here there is a platform that is on a cycle that you are not ever meant to be able to meet, because normally that platform would be just out of reach. However, by getting sprint, you can get there fast enough and you're able to just barely reach it, and that skips an entire segment of either waiting for the other platform or doing a lot of tiptoe shenanigans to get over quickly. And the tiptoe shenanigans are not easy. But thankfully, we can just go through that level significantly faster now. All right, this level is Cycles. That is the name of the game here. I don't like this level very much because it is very easy to accidentally mess up somewhere in the level and then go back like 3 checkpoints because you skipped them to try and make the cycle to go faster. So I will probably be taking the checkpoints just to be safe, because I do not feel like spending an extra 30 seconds on this level because I decided to play things risky.
Can I jump in real quick with a little update?
Absolutely.
All right, we are less than $4,000 away from getting that Pet the Dog incentive met. Y'all are getting there, and it's thanks to donations such as $25 from Pet the Dog saying, "Pet the dog, pet the dog, pet the dog, pet the dog." Thank you so much for that donation, and don't forget to keep on assigning your donations towards that incentive if you want to see that dog get pet.
Also, it just so happens that after this level here is the first of 2.5 auto-scrollers, and it is a full minute long, so minute-long auto-scroller sounds like a great time for donations to me.
Hey, I got lots of those. They've been coming in. We have, of course, that Greetings from Germany $5 train, and those donations have been coming in. $5 from Ponzord Zomboard saying, "Greetings from Germany." $5 from Shadowed Navi saying, $5 donation train. $5 from Amtera Sue, choo choo. And we have $5 from Myra saying, "Germings from Greeting." I'm not sure what country that is, but thank you so much for that donation. And we have someone actually saying hello to Germany. $10 from Anonymous saying greetings to Germany and the rest of the world from Austria. Pet all the dogs.
Yes. You should absolutely try and pet the dog, because dogs are very cute and, you know, they deserve the pets.
Are there dogs in this game?
No. There is a lot of robots and other creatures, but there are no dogs. However, there is actually a creature called a blobfush that we've seen a few of throughout the run so far, and we're going to see more of them. But the blobfush, you know, there's a special one at the end of the run, and if you know, you've donated so far, you might have noticed a little bid war relating to that blobfush. Because there is a blobfush at the end of this run that we are either going to let live or we are going to kill. depending on what the people decide. You know, personally, I think Blufffush are evil incarnate. You know, you're gonna see some later in this level, and you know, I think you'll know what I mean as soon as you see them.
I don't know, man. They sound cute. I'm Team Blufffush.
Then Sam, you'll be happy to know that right now Kill the Blockfush is in the lead, but not by much.
Ooh.
Anyone could snipe that and change that at any point. But you heard, gotta get that in very soon if you want to change that outcome.
Yes, that huge crowd of flying blue creatures there, those were Blobfush. As you can see, they're just flying there menacingly.
They're doing their best.
Yeah, they're doing their best to be evil.
No.
Yeah, I'm on Sam's team with this one. I hate Blobfush.
All right. Who in chat or donations is on my team?
You gotta tell us what side you're on. You gotta tell us. Because if if you leave it to me, I think you have an idea of how things are gonna turn out. But you can stay my hand.
Yeah, I have access to a phone and a bank account. You're busy, so listen. If it's close, I'm just saying.
All right, this level here is just more cycles, but thankfully, really only the one cycle matters. And then if I can make that cycle, I can get through this level quickly. And on top of that, this level has like one of the best endings because you can just damage boost and run over to the goal with high speed. I really enjoy the ending to that level.
That was cool.
I was gonna say, I know that the armor plates are in there to be nice, but I don't think it was intentional to damage boost that way.
All right, this level here is a brawler level where you gotta kill every single enemy in order to get to the goal. So it's kind of funny. They give you a zipper, and they know that that the zipper could be a problem because they stuck 4 doors on top of each other that require killing all the enemies to open. So like, it was very clear that they knew that you could zip through the doors if they didn't put 4 of them. But there was a key in the top left there that we don't need because they only gave us put the 1 there, so we can just ignore that key entirely. Which I find very funny. Also, I opened the settings menu there. That was 100% intentional because that is a trick called a map warp. So the way that works is, you gotta travel between each of the little globes to get to the next level. However, some of those distances are pretty long, and when you open the settings menu, in the middle of that animation, it immediately puts you on top of the next level. And so if you do that, you can just immediately go to the next level, and some of the travel times are like 2-3 seconds long, and so by doing that, and spending a second opening the settings menu, you can actually save a second or 2 on a couple of those different transitions. And in total, throughout the run, it saves maybe 4 seconds, so it's actually really minor, but it's also really easy to do, so it's basically free time save. I'm curious, Carl, if you know anything about the map stuff there, because that is one of those things I feel like you just would never think about in a speedrun context, even if you do know it's a
I
thing.
hate meetings too.
Yeah, I've never even seen that before, but as QA, like, there's so many things that I found and the community never got to saw, and then the stuff that I've seen you guys find that I'll bring up to the devs, and it's just mind-blowing, because it's stuff that we would have never even thought to test.
Also, speaking of things that you would have never even thought to test, I accidentally just did like 3 ghost jumps in a row where I didn't set off prize blocks by jumping on them, where normally the moment you land on them, they're supposed to be activated, but I was able to buffer my jumps in such a way that is like kind of frame perfect, but also kind of not. It's weird. But basically, I just jumped on them and didn't activate them like 3 times in a row, which is actually really difficult to do intentionally. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually matter. It just looks cool.
It may not matter in this, but I know that we've got community levels completely based around that tag.
Yes. All right, and what I did just there, that giant teleporting shark dropped a pop jaw medallion. And the way the pop jaw medallion works is you throw it, and then about like 2 seconds later, it teleports you to it. And so I was able to drop down, grab the package, and just teleport right back up.
Greetings, skipping training seminars. You're a real go-getter.
All right, this next level is going to be a fun one because this level features the next power-up. This will be the Waylay. The way the Waylay works is it punches. It's actually,
Simple enough.
yeah, it's pretty simple, except for the part where there's actually a lot to it when you get into the nitty-gritty. But the way the punches work, if you're on the ground, you punch horizontally, and if you're in midair, you punch diagonally. You know, it's pretty simple. But if you combine that with sprint speed and then dash off of the ledge, you just go as fast as possible. So this is a very, very satisfying power-up to use when you're trying to go fast. Because this power-up is the one that can reach the highest speeds in the game, depending on what the setup is.
I think out of all of them, that one's definitely my favorite.
It's kind of funny because that's meant to be like one of the combat power-ups because the punches can damage enemies, but it's used for movement way more than it is used for combat. And I always just find that very funny. All right, these teleporting sharks are pop jaws, and they're kind of annoying, but thankfully we can get through them pretty quickly. And the fact that they can teleport is also useful because the detection for that room only detects if that pop jaw is in the room. It doesn't actually detect if it's alive, so we can just make it leave. All right, here are the fabled toe sliders. I'm sure when I mentioned them earlier, everyone was waiting for them to show up. Yeah, they're conveyor belts. They're actually not that complicated. But this level is a fun one because we can just ignore the sproing there and just super jump up here instead. And then grab the waylay and just start going fast. All right. Unfortunately, like this last segment with those enemies, it's like you have to wait for the first wave of enemies to be completely killed before the next wave spawns. And it's just, you know, it's kind of slow. So we try and get them to land in certain ways to make it go faster. But, you know, we can only do so much. But this here is arguably my least favorite item in the game, bumpers. Because they are very annoying to manage and go on precise angles with. But thankfully, that wasn't too bad.
So I'm guessing it sends you in like one of the 8 cardinal directions type thing?
Yes, it does send you in one of the 8 cardinal directions, and when the bumpers are 1 tile wide, you can see why it gets annoying pretty quickly if you're not careful. But this is a fun level. This one is called Battery Gauntlet. And a level called Battery Gauntlet, you might expect, you know, there might be a few batteries that you have to collect. You know, might have to do something with them, but you'd be mistaken. This level is called Battery Gauntlet as a red herring because you are definitely supposed to beat the level the way I am about to beat it. You know, just gotta kill these enemies, come down here, and then that's a red herring because it gives you the zipper. And if the level gives you the zipper, that means you're not supposed to do it the way you think you are. Because this is definitely what you're supposed to do.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes. What I said
That was...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, go ahead.
I was just
I
gonna
was going to say, that was the 2-tile thing that he was talking about before where you can go off screen and not die.
Yes. And like I said, if you don't exactly set things up with your tiles correctly in a level with zipper, you can just go through all of the walls, even the ones you're not supposed to, which is why that is a very fun level to speedrun. This here is Hollow Mountain Hike. This is actually a very infamous level because if you're a new speedrunner at this game, this is actually a really difficult level to do quickly. And even if you know exactly what you're doing, if you make one mistake, the fact that it is an entirely vertical level means you're gonna fall all the way back down the mountain. Because you have to go up, grab a bunch of batteries, come back down, deposit all the batteries, grab the package, and then go back up a second time. So if at any point you fall down, you just gotta start climbing back up again. But thankfully, if you know what you're doing, you can, you know, just not fall. It's that easy.
You know, that'd be a good idea for a game.
Yeah, you know, I agree with that. I think a game where you just go only up or something like that. Yeah, I think that would be a pretty fun idea. I agree with that. All right, this level is a good one. This is the level that's an incredible GR18, and it features a very, very fun skip. I'm going to hopefully get it quickly. All right, this trick is one that saves... This might be the trick that saves the most time in the run out of every single level, because this trick, if you get it first try, saves over 30 seconds. It took me a few tries, but it will still save me time, because this is incredible skip. It lets you go over the entire map here, and you can skip the entire thing. Because
Amazing.
that is the power of damage boosting and using the zipper. Yeah, so the gist of that is damage boosting off of a firebar is a little weird, and for some reason it gives you way more height than basically any other obstacle in the game. And because of that, you can just use that to get up on top of the map, grab with the zipper, and then just zip through the rest of the level and skip everything. Yeah, because normally that level is like 50 plus seconds long, and the fastest that level's ever been done is under 17 seconds. So it saves just a couple seconds. All right, this is Flingo Swing. This introduces the Flingo object. The way the Flingo works is the further away you are when you grab it, the further it flings you. So if you want to go fast, you want to grab them from as far as possible. However, one interesting little quirk is if you grab it while on the ground, it also instantly gives you sprint, which I did use a couple times in that level. But it also allows us to do a level like this one, not quite as intended. So the way 4-point plunge is set up is there's switches in each of the 4 corners, but you don't exactly have to just do it as intended. You can just go around the spikes there, skip this entire section, and then you can also just get very high speeds using the Flingos, preferably controlled height speeds, so you don't just go flying off into the distance. But yeah, you can just this level is a very, very fun level to mess around with Flingos in.
How long did it take you to memorize this route through this level?
That is a great question that I could not possibly answer because I have put so much time into these levels at this point. I do not know when I started to be consistent at that
I'll
one.
just send you an email back.
But this level is GRE Team Meet the Flip Whip. It introduces the Flip Whip and not much else. So I think this is a good time for a quick donation or two.
Absolutely. We have so much love coming in for this Greetings from Germany train, including $5 from Sparrow, who says, greeting from Germany's neighbor, Denmark. Always love to see devs on the couch. And $5 from Runcy, who says, greetings from a German in Austria. And $25, so 5 tickets from Mammoth, saying, show me the doggy, with greetings from England.
All right, and then we got to finish that level with some fun little waylay speed. And it's also fun hearing so many people from Germany, because I know there's quite a few Germans in the Levelhead community even. I don't know if they're watching right now, but if they are, you know, hello to anybody from the Levelhead community who is watching.
It's from GDQ.
All right, this level, you know, you got this this little like code thing set up here. I was just throwing them around randomly, and they ended up in the right spots. And the door opened, so we're good. We can move on.
That's lucky.
Yeah, it's crazy how like you can just throw the boxes randomly and they end up in the right spot. Yeah,
If math heads want to calculate the probabilities of that and let us know in a donation, that'd be great.
Yeah, so yeah, the code for that level is the same every time. It is it was not truly random. I'm sorry to disappoint anybody who thought I was being serious for a second there. Never expect me to be fully serious. But yeah, these 2 levels right here are 2 like enemy gimmick levels, where the first one was I had to drop enemies into buckets, and this one is I have to avoid killing enemies, which is very unfortunate because there are a lot of blobfush in this level that I can't kill.
Especially, yeah, right there with the Electro Shield, which instantly kills on contact.
Yes, so the way this level is set up is that basically, if you kill a single enemy, the level will then, you know, just turn on a whole bunch of spikes and instantly kill you. But it gives you all of the tools you could ever want if you wanted to kill all of the enemies, because the Electro Shield is an item where if you touch an enemy, you instantly kill them, which is problematic when you don't want to kill them.
And we don't want to kill the blurfush.
Unfortunately, I have to agree on this level specifically, but on any other level, you know, I think they deserve they've got coming to them.
So I hear they're very loosely like related to dogs. So if anyone likes petting dogs, you should, you know, donate to save the blurfush.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but
Maybe. Anyway.
But hey, if you want to donate to petting a dog, I won't argue with that one.
Never mind, I'll just send you an email, I guess.
All right, this level is Fly GR18. It will have the next power-up. This is the Ripcord. The gist of the Ripcord is it's a jetpack. Because you can't have a 2D platform without a jetpack. However, it is also a little bit more than that because the jetpack has a limited amount of fuel, you cannot use it infinitely, and it also lets you hover. So if I were to hit the B button, you know, I can just hover down slowly, and that does not have a limited amount. Also, right there, I did a pixel jump to refuel my my jetpack fuel halfway up that chute there, because hazards in this game do not take up a full tile, and so you can land just barely next to them if you are careful enough. And by doing that, you can just land and refuel and just keep going straight up. All right, this level features the hardest skip in the run, and I will be giving it a few tries before I move on. Because this, remember earlier how I mentioned you can go under the map, but gravity is a minor problem? Yeah, we have a jetpack, so we can kind of counteract gravity a little bit. So I'm going to be trying to go under the map on this level. I will give it a few more tries. Normally in PB attempts, I would only give this one attempt and then move on, because it is very much does not save time to go for it multiple times in a run like this, but I want to try and get it during my GDQ run here on stage.
I've seen him do it in practice. It looks really nice.
Nope. No! I got bad RNG. Yeah, the swoopadoops, which are the enemies on the other side there, randomly choose an angle to charge at you at, and they chose the wrong angle and charged directly into my face. That is very unfortunate.
So after this super hard skip, you still need to get lucky.
Yes.
Right.
If you have quick enough reaction time, it is barely possible to jump before they target you, but it is very, very difficult, and depending on how you land, you do not have enough time. So I'm just gonna take my loss, cut my losses and finish the level normally. You got to see the cool skip, you just didn't get to see me finish the level with it. Yeah, because normally that skip would save about 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds, versus, you know, doing the level normally. But, you know, I wanted to try and get it, and I'm glad I at least got the hard part, because I have not actually gotten that in a marathon before, so I'm very happy that I managed to get it at all. All right, this is hover stop. This is a level where you gotta cut all of the cycles as closely as possible to make this level go as quickly as possible, because these cycles are very tight. As you can see, I'm just barely not getting hit by the fire, and then we can just fall down the chute.
Jeez.
Yeah, this level is a very difficult one to do as quickly as possible, but it is very satisfying to just fall down that giant chute without getting hit by any fire. All right.
And if anybody's noticed, like, there's on-time deliveries up there in the top middle of the screen. That's what the devs set for the intended time to beat these, and we're not even coming close to that.
It is very funny to see some of these levels like, oh yeah, you can beat this level in 2 minutes to get the on-time delivery, and then we finish it in like 30 seconds or less. And meanwhile, there's other levels where it's like, oh yeah, you have 35 seconds to beat this level. The fastest anybody's ever beaten is 33 seconds. Because some of them are way tighter than other ones for some reason. It is an interesting dichotomy. All right. This level will show off the power of explosions when they don't kill you. Because these rockets here just blow stuff up. They don't actually do any damage to you. And so because they just blow stuff up, you can just, you know, get launched by the blast across the map. All right. If I had gotten the perfect angle off that one rocket, I would have been able to just shoot straight into the goal, but unfortunately, that angle is very tight, so I do not get it most of the time. All right, this is Temp Swish Rush. This is a pretty simple level, honestly. We can hear a donation real quick.
All right, we still have so much hype coming in from that Greetings from Germany train. $25 from Uciel saying, Hype train! Greetings from Germany to the SGDQ team and all the runners. $50, so 10 tickets from Time Zone saying, Greetings from UTC +2. $50 as well from Yinji saying, Choo choo! This is the Greetings from Germany train. And $5 from August, Greetings from an American who was born in Germany.
All right, this is Trick the Cannon. I don't like this level. It's a very, very fun idea, but it is very frustrating to speedrun this level. However, it does kill a lot of blobfish, so I can't hate it too much.
This can't be happening.
But yeah, the gist of this level is you gotta bait these cannons, which are firing directly at you, into hitting literally anything that is not you. So these shots can kill enemies, so you gotta bait them into killing the enemies, you gotta move the package around. And the reason why this level is so frustrating is because of these guys here. These guys jump around, and because of that, if they don't want to cooperate, they just jump over the rockets. Thankfully, I eventually hit that one. Those enemies are called flapjacks, and they are the most annoying enemies in the game, in my opinion. They're not as evil as Blobfush, but they are more annoying. All right, but the ending of this level is what happens if you post a speedrunning opinion on Twitter.
Damn.
I really like that end screen. It is very funny. All right, this is Grand Theft Grotto, the best named level in the entire run. It is a long gauntlet of a bunch of like small individual challenges, none of which have anything too crazy. It's just a lot of small optimizations. So I think we can hear another quick donation or two.
Absolutely. I just want to give a quick update that we are only $3,500 away from getting that dog pet, thanks to donations such as $10 from Nickel saying, "Can I pet that dog? Greetings from Germany." And $5 from Yargith, also saying, "Greetings from Germany."
All right. So yeah, part of what makes this level really difficult to speedrun was those one-tile throws where you just have to be in the right spot and then throw something straight up through a one-tile gap, which is way more precise than you'd expect. But this level is actually one of my favorites to speedrun because there's no big tricks, there's no one skip you have to learn, it's just a lot of optimization. All right. No, the battery didn't want to go in to the battery switch. Okay. But after we deposit these 2 batteries, we can grab the package and, you know, float down with this ripcord that we're going to skip. Because power-ups have a 1-second animation when you pick them up, and so if you don't need a power-up, it is just slow to pick them up. There's no reason to do that. All right, this here is the last map warp, as we also move on to the last power-up of the run. As the title suggests, this power-up is called the Rebound. And the Rebound is the projectile power-up, because again, you can't have a 2D platform without something that shoots projectiles. The way the Rebound works is it shoots a projectile and launches you in the opposite direction. So it doesn't just shoot projectiles, it is also used for platforming. And the way these shots work is they are able to damage enemies and they are also able to hit switches. And you are also able to bounce off of them. So they are very versatile. But the main thing is just you use it for the rebound to launch you through the air. And also land on all of those enemies. All right, but we are actually, because this is the last power-up of the run, that also indicates that we are near the end of the run. There's only 4 levels left after this. So you are running out of time to decide the fate of the Blobfush if you want to get any more donations in for it.
Kill it.
All right, so what is that status at right now? Like, where's the donation at? The bidware, rather.
Absolutely, and I'll give you a quick update here. Kill the Blobfush is at $212, and Save, though, is at $190. It's super, super close. Anyone could make that change.
All right. This here is a vertical level, and they give you a box. So we did a lot of super jumps to get up here as quickly as possible.
And isn't the window on the super jump for the regular boxes a lot tighter than with the package?
It is very slightly different, but it is slightly harder to use. It is like a very minor difference that you would only notice if you're like very familiar with super jumping, but it is noticeable.
So I'm just bad.
I wasn't gonna say it, but
No, we've seen me play before. I'm bad.
all right, this is the last of 2.5 auto-scrollers in the run. I didn't mention earlier, but there was a level where the camera unlocked halfway through the level, so it was only half of an auto-scroller. This might be the only speedrun you've ever seen where somebody mentions a half of an auto-scroller, not a full one. But this level is pretty simple, pretty short as well. Nothing too crazy. But this next level is actually very interesting because I mentioned how this is a game with a huge focus on user-generated content and making levels, so naturally, the second to last level in the campaign is a troll level. Because how else would you end off a campaign like this? However, just because it's a troll level doesn't mean we're gonna fall for any of the trolls. We're just gonna zoom through everything as quickly as possible.
The amount of reports that the QA team made with this one about certain things not working, and then we got told, no, that was intentional. It is a troll level.
I didn't know that. That's actually really funny. Yeah, we can just.
No, we didn't get any warning on this, so it was like trying to figure out what was intentional and what wasn't, and just seeing the reactions of the devs as we were floundering through it.
Yeah, it is actually legitimately a very fun troll level. I do like it a lot. But this here is the final level. It is also the longest level in the campaign, and it is like a final hurrah. Like it features every power-up, it gives it a section and to platform through with every single power-up and all that stuff. But, you know, we can still super jump, and so we can just skip the entire tiptoe section and go straight to the ripcord section. So in true final level fashion, we are skipping a good chunk of it.
Say this one I definitely do the skips on because I found them myself before we finally got this one published.
Yeah, because I know this level went through quite a few iterations because the community kept finding new ways to break this that were not exactly desirable.
Yeah, like the one that's not allowed in speedruns.
Yes, the Waylay gets a quick little combat section where we kill all these enemies as fast as possible. And we take a shell with us because we mentioned how shells are kind of like Koopa shells. We can also just shell jump with them. Oh, that guy's in the way. There we go. All right. Normally I would have liked to have my armor here, but thankfully that thing cooperated and I didn't have to damage boost through it. But the rebound also gets a quick little combat section. All right, I am, these shots are not lining up. There we go. All right, we can use the pop jaw medallion to skip some time real quick. And can I hear what the final result is for that final Blopfush?
With $290, Save the Blopfush has won.
Disappointed.
Wow.
I'm disappointed, but I gotta listen to the people. Here he is. He's congratulating us on a run well done. I don't trust him. I don't trust that congratulations, but he is there just to congratulate us because this here is time. All right, that here is Levelhead any percent. If you have any interest at all in playing this game, it is currently on sale for $4 on Steam as part of the Steam Summer Sale. Highly recommend picking it up. It's a very fun game casually, very fun speedrun, very fun if you have any creativity at all and you can make levels in it. But yeah, if you want to see more of this game or just me in general, you can go check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/IllegallySam. I play this game a lot. I have played this game a lot in the past. I will continue to do so. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got. If either of you guys want to have any final words.
I feel like that was spot on. We just appreciate you guys letting us on GDQ and getting to show off our game and talk with the rest of the community.
Yeah, check out Sam, check out Levelhead, check out Pokemon Snapbot on Twitter, but that's another conversation.
And wishlist Crashlands 2 on Steam because that is the studio's next game and it's coming out later this year. But I think that's pretty much all we got. So thanks for having me.